Real Country 1430 AM and 1073 FM WRDN. I'm Brian Winnekins. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report. Joining us this morning is Jeff Lyon. He's General Manager with Farm First Dairy Cooperative. And this morning, we're going to talk with Jeff about some testimony that he submitted to the Wisconsin Senate Committee on Transportation and Local Government and how that could affect the dairy industry. And thank you to our newsmaker sponsors, including Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board, Wisconsin Corn Growers Association, Wisconsin Farmers Union, Synergy Co-op, Osteoplastics, Compeer Financial, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Annabis Silo, and Elsivia Co-op. Well, Jeff, recently you had a chance to submit some testimony to this Senate Committee on Transportation, and it's regarding milk trucks, I guess, and weight limits. Tell us about that.
Correct. The bill very simply, we allow for fluid milk right now for going over, posted weight limits, but it's going to include whey and other, fluid milk byproducts as well. So it's one of those bills that take it up to 98,000 pounds, allow for annual or consecutive month contracts, and certainly it's something of interest to the dairy industry because of all the increase in costs, to dairy farmers and to the milk haulers. It is the cost of hauling milk, and this will allow flexibility to do that.
Now, I know that there has been, they have some of these weight limit, they lift weight limit restrictions, but milk was never really included as part of that.
We've been able to do it on fluid milk. You've had some different things where you can do it and get some permits to do it. But this, like I said, this expands the definition. So some of it's already there. And obviously, springtime, we have some issues there with roads, coming out of winter and some of those kinds of things, where local governments are getting involved. But this is, like I said, a bill that, for our dairy industry needed because it is difficult. Even within my cooperative, we've had to negotiate new terms with our haulers, over the past year just because of their costs and what they're incurring. And then, like I said, it's one of those expensive things. You got milk getting picked up every day. And so you're trying to do things that are flexible. It may not work for everybody, but it's, provides flexibility.
Is that one of the things that if this isn't in effect, then, like your milk haulers, well, okay, Jeff, we can only we have to haul a lot less, which means we have to try and either have more trucks, more drivers, or make more trips, which means it's going to cost us more. Is that really what's happening?
Everything you just said is all more money. I mean, it's, haulers are like a lot of other businesses having a difficult time finding drivers that are going to put in the time and that's needed to pick up milk. And, things have changed considerably there. So just trying to find the drivers and everything. So these are some of the kinds of things that may work out for them. And obviously, I mean, you're familiar on a hauler, they're, for a co-op and, other proprietary plants or cooperative plants, haulers are working, picking up milk, but there's whey being produced, those things. And, then you're getting back hauls and, other businesses that are all important to the dairy industry because in some cases like whey and some of the other byproducts, those are extremely valuable as far as making money for the cooperatives or proprietary plants and getting that money back to farmers.
Talking with Jeff Lyon, he is General Manager of the Farm First Dairy Cooperative this morning about some testimony that Jeff submitted to the Wisconsin Senate Committee on Transportation and Local Governments in support of Senate Bill 431 that would grant the Wisconsin DOT to issue annual or consecutive month overweight permits. So, Jeff, will this only apply to state highways or will this apply to county highways and town roads and that sort of thing?
You're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to help me out here, Brian, because I'm not aware on that. If it's on the state highways, because you have certain road limits on that, so you're gonna have to get the approval, but on different highways.
Okay, so you would have to get
okay, because you have certain roads that you still can't. You can't take those heavy loads, on different roads. So you'd have to get approval on those.
So from what it sounds like, then this would be more for like a highway 25 or a highway 5 or highway 10.
On roads that can handle these kind of loads. And obviously, like I said, you get these permits. And so there's things you have to abide by in doing
Sure.
this.
And that is, because even the dairy industry, they're concerned about the town roads or the county roads. They don't want, that's where the farm's at. They don't want them being damaged either with way, way, way overweight limits too.
The road aids for town roads and county roads and obviously state highways, that's been an issue for the agriculture community forever, and making sure we get monies back out there to make sure the roads are improved and so they can handle it, because as you said, the milk is out on farms, it's not in town. So you have to get out there and you have to be able to get to the processing facilities. So the road aids and the legislature and governor, they've done some good things here where we've been able to get some more local road aids, which, like I said, very important to the economy of the state, obviously, because agriculture is so big.
And that in Wisconsin, that is one of our challenges. We have this, in the winter when it's 10,000 below zero and everything's frozen solid. Well, yeah, every road is going to be great, but then that springtime comes along and that's when we have some issues. So that's a challenge that we've always had to face, and it is good to face that.
That is a challenge. We're unlike some other states where you can just go 24/7 for 12 months out of the year. We do have some issues on the roads, and that's where local governments have authorities to be able to put limits for certain times of the year, for not just milk hauling, but for other heavy equipment, and other industries are affected by this as well. And obviously, when you bust up the roads, if you're not adhering to that, then it just costs more to fix them. So you have to work on those things. But I think the idea behind the legislation and what I submitted in my testimony is allowing for the flexibility, because for some it's not going to work. Haulers going to different farms picking up milk, and some processing plants, aren't going to take can't take the big trucks and tankers. So, it's going to be different situations. But if you're doing some long hauls, those kinds of things, I think it might be very beneficial.
Talking with Jeff Lyon this morning. He's general manager with the Farm First Dairy Cooperative. While you were able to get a chance to submit that testimony to that committee, are you hopeful? Do you get a sense that the Senate, that committee, and even the state legislature is like, hey, you know what, this kind of makes some sense. We need to do this?
I can't answer on the full Senate, but I understand from contacts and different people I talked to on how the hearing went. Just a tremendous amount of support, obviously, through the agriculture community for this. Cheesemakers Association, other trade groups, a lot of the cheesemakers, milk haulers, all submitted testimony or provided testimony in support of it. And I get the feeling or impression from people I've talked to that it should get through the committee. Obviously, it has a ways to go because you have to go through the Senate, and obviously the Assembly would take it up, have to take it up as well too. But it's one of those things. I don't think there was any real hard opposition to it from my conversations I had.
Well, hopefully we'll get through both the Senate and the Assembly easily and off to the governor's desk. Jeff, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Brian.
That is Jeff Lyon, general manager of the Farm First Dairy Cooperative. You're listening to the WRDN Morning Farm Report.